I am pumped to share with you our next guest, because she was sharing with me in Nashville a few months ago what has happened in terms of her membership site and how it impacted and supported her during a time when she needed it the most. And so this is a beautiful story because, again, we always think about like membership in terms of like just driving the business and growing the business. But it's, again, you hear me talk about it, it's not about the money. It's about what the money makes possible. And what you're about to hear now is a great example of how a membership site can support you in both your business and in your life. So with that, I want to bring on our next guest, Amy Nielson. Amy, are you there?
I am, yes. Hi, Stu.
Look at you. Good to see you again. How are you?
Good to see you too. I'm doing great.
So what I want to do is, before we dig into what's happened with your membership and who you serve, can you give us some context in terms of like who is your market and how are you helping?
Yeah, so I help parents and teachers. And we basically bring the play and the fun back into learning. And so the homework and school aren't quite, aren't awful. They're really fun. And basically what we're trying to do is transform the way kids see learning and help them to become passionate, lifelong learners. And be able to even teach themselves so they can learn anything they want to know for the rest of their life.
Amazing. Okay, so how did you get into all of this?
Well, it kind of like happened on accident. I was doing a homeschool project with one of my daughters, and we just decided one day to do this. And we were doing multiplication songs where you learn your multiplication tables in a matter of minutes, and they're insanely magical. They're amazing. But we had put these videos on YouTube and kind of forgot about it. And all of a sudden, a few months later, they went completely viral, and I had all these teachers asking me for printables of this. And so I made that for them, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. They kept asking for more and more stuff, and so we've kind of just kept giving them what they've asked for. So.
And were you giving them this content on like a blog?
Yeah, well, I started on a blog, and then I had I was selling on a third-party site. So when I purchased Tribe last year, I didn't even have a store on my own site. I was completely just selling on a third-party site and paying 20% commission, on every sale.
Got it. Okay, so let's talk about like what happened, because you launched your membership site, and so talk us through that. Like, what was that experience like?
Well, it was kind of interesting because I had an established audience, and I had a pretty good business going. We have a pretty large worldwide audience. But Tribe helped me see that I was kind of being a hobbyist, and I wasn't really serving my people in the way that I should be. I was making it way too hard for them to find my content. They had to come back and find me every week or every month, and I had to go try to find them. And it was just like trying to make that connection every week or every month when I make them something new was so hard. And so when I listened to Tribe, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is exactly what I should have been doing to serve my audience better. Because then they just get in one time, and I just send it to them every month and make it really, really easy. And I don't have to go find them every month, and they don't have to find me.
Yeah, so got it. So for you were providing the plans and so forth on a one-off basis, and now you shifted to providing them on a monthly basis to your members.
Right, and our launch was really interesting. We had all the tech problems, like our website went live, like our store, that we had to build a store for this, and it went live like 2 hours before, open cart, which was, we had all the tech issues. It was a mess. But I got 125 members in, and I thought, okay, that's a start, and we'll work through all the bugs with these guys. And then I was planning to do another really good launch in October or January of the next year. So I had a big plan. I was going to learn it all, and I was going to build it up and do this big launch. But about 2 weeks after my beta launch, my world kind of fell apart. My daughter got really, really, really sick, and it was like life-threateningly ill, and we didn't know what was wrong. And so I was just, it was taking all my time and all of my brain trying to keep her alive, trying to figure out what was going on, trying to go to all the doctors and just being there for her. I kind of had to drop everything with my business, and I stopped emailing my list, and I stopped posting to Facebook, and I stopped almost everything. The only thing that I was still doing was what I had promised my members. I'd promised them that I would give them this content every month, and so I would make that, and that was pretty much what was happening. And I'd gotten on one day in the tribe community and asked, I'm like, you guys, I need help. I need a way to just automate this, because I can't do this right now. I don't have the bandwidth to take care of this. And they helped me immediately. They gave me the ideas that I needed. I had an automated funnel set up that night. In just a matter of 2 or 3 hours, I had it all put together, and I just turned it on and kind of walked away. And I didn't have time to do Facebook Lives, and I didn't have time to really get in and talk to my audience. They didn't see my face, and they didn't hear me, and I did all the things wrong. Like I could do so much better this year, and I'm excited to do that. But it was what I could do at the time. And my membership just grew, and like every month it just grew and it grew and it grew, which was amazing to me, because I didn't have to do anything really other than just provide the content, and I didn't have to go find them, and it was really helping support my family. And as we had to go to all these doctors, sometimes they weren't on our insurance plan, and we'd be going to multiple doctors a week, and we'd be paying $250 an hour to a doctor, and we had to end up trying a lot of different medicines and things like that. And I didn't even have to think about it. I didn't even have to worry about it, because there was just that money coming in, which was crazy because it was wild. Yeah.
Well, Amy, I'm, it's such a beautiful story, because number one, I think as all parents, we can feel that right at the heart level, where it's like when your child is needs help. I mean, we would all drop everything that we're doing to be there, to be able to support them, to help them, and to help them navigate that journey. And so I just want to commend you for keeping the main thing. And it's awesome to also hear how the membership kept that rolling for you, to be able to give you that space and that freedom. And I don't also I don't want to lose sight of the fact that you initially launched with 125 members. Like, time out, girl. Like, that is a pretty impressive launch nonetheless. But I also know that you have big plans for your membership moving forward. So talk to us about that. Like, you now, when we met in Nashville, you were talking and sharing that, now you're ready to really gear up, because the great news is that your daughter has made a recovery, and so I know that we're all excited and excited about that. But let's talk about now that she has made that recovery. What are you looking forward to most with your membership?
Well, I'm so excited. So what's amazing is within that 8-month period from when I did my beta launch to about a month ago when she was really stable, I had increased my revenue by $100,000, over $100,000 just from Tribe, which is so cool, because I wasn't even doing it right. So what I'm so excited about is to go through Tribe again this year, and to go and fix, all those things that you talk about in retention and all of those different things. And then we're adding actually on something which is really cool, because I realized recently that I've been giving people the activities to make learning fun for the next 10 minutes, which is awesome. But what I really want to do is help kids transform their view of what learning is, and just love it. And so we're actually getting ready to start this summer challenge, where we are going to be doing some really cool stuff, getting kids really excited about learning, having the most fun they've ever had learning over the summer, doing different things than they would do in a classroom or homework, and it's going to be awesome. And then kind of starting that a new membership based around really coaching people through helping raise their kids that love learning and know how to teach themselves anything they want to know. So my daughter that we had talked about is now she's 14 years old, is working on her 4th full-length novel, just won a scholarship to work this summer with a New York Times bestselling author, and she taught herself how to write, and I didn't ever have to say anything. And it's stuff like that. It's just so cool when kids learn that they can learn anything they want to know, and they know how to do it and where to go. There's no limit on what they can do. And so that is kind of my next step, is kind of starting a group where we're going to do that and help people help their kids do anything.
It's amazing. I'm super pumped and excited for you, because I also know how when you put your head down, you're going to be full steam ahead, and it's going to be amazing to watch what happens with your membership site. And so I know a couple of people asked, in fact I think it was Kayla asked, she said, how much are you charging for your membership?
So my memberships are between $19 and $30 a month. They're very low cost membership.
And again, your market are teachers and parents. Is that right?
Yep. Yep.
Amazing. Okay, so as we look to wind down here, what advice would you give for people who are thinking about memberships? Like when you were thinking about it, what was going through your mind?
Well, I actually kind of did it backwards. I didn't even go into Tribe. I didn't get Tribe because I wanted to do a membership. In fact, I said I won't do a membership. I didn't want to do a membership. I bought it because Rachel told me to, Rachel Miller. I thought that Tribe was going to help me improve my interaction and build a really high quality Facebook group. So that was why I got Tribe. And when I watched it the first time, it like blew my mind. Because what really happens is you don't have to work as hard, and you don't have to make your people work as hard to get what you have to offer. So for me, it was the easiest way to be able to help them, and it was the easiest way for them to be able to get help from me. And so it made complete sense on so many levels to do that way. And it's been amazing, and it stabilizes my income. I have kind of seasonal income based on the school year. And so it's kind of stabilized my income, which is also helpful. And I mean, there's so many reasons why having a membership, I think, is so helpful for me and the people I serve.
Amazing. Okay, so last question. What would you say to somebody if you were trying to describe what the Tribe experience is like?
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. It blew my mind. You're going to have an amazing time being at Tribe Live. The experience of being in the community, I wasn't able to participate as much as I wanted to because of everything going on with my family. But it was crazy because you jump into the conversation, and people, even though you hadn't been there talking to people, would instantly, jump in and help you and talk to you and be willing to give you any kind of advice that you needed. It's incredible, the community that you've built. And the intelligence and the ideas in this group are insane, and people are so willing to help and share.
Amazing. Well, as a parent, Amy, I would love for you to share where people can find out more about you and what you do.
Of course. So my probably the best way to reach me is my Facebook page. It's called Planning Playtime. If you want to join our summer challenge group, that is a group off of that page. It's called Raising Smart, Creative, Self-Teaching Kids.
Amazing. Amy, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you, buddy.